Hello and thank you for joining me today. I'm Jan Clothier from Thinking Stamping and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in New Zealand. This video is part of my Simple Stamping series, which means it's designed for people who are looking for quick but effective projects and people who haven't yet bought themselves a Stampin' Cut and Boss machine. Today's project is a gift box with 5 note cards and envelopes. So we will be using the Plentiful Plants set, which comes from the 2021 to 22 annual catalogue. It is part of a bundle, so you can buy matching dies, but since this is a simple stamping project, we won't be using the dies today. It is a lovely set because it's got a number of sort of thanks related sentiments, but it's very mix and match. So there's 3 different pots and a number of different foliages, and you can do as you will with them. And so I've got some suggestions about what you might do, but obviously if you're making it with this set, you can do whatever you like with them. So we'll get started. I've used card bases of 2 different colours. So I've got some that are Evening Evergreen and some that are Cinnamon Cider. Now these cards, when they're finished, are 3 inches by 3 inches, or I would think of them as 7.5 centimetres by 7.5 centimetres. So the way that I've made the card bases is I've cut a strip of A4 paper long ways at 15 centimetres and scored it at 7.5 centimetres, and then I've just cut 7.5 inch pieces. So you'll get 3 whole bases out of each piece of paper. And then to go with that, I have cut white, and these squares are 7 centimetres square, which is much more economical than the bases because the strip of A4 paper is 7 centimetres wide. So you get 3 strips, and then you cut each into 7, and you'll get 12 pieces out of a single sheet of A4 paper. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to start stamping. Now you'll notice that 4 of these are sitting on a little piece of brick, so they look like they're sitting on a patio or a deck table or something like that. Now that paper comes from the paper that is part of the Plentiful Plants suite in the catalogue. So the paper is in fact 12 inches square, and I've just cut down sample sizes, and you can see that on one side it's very botanical, so you've got foliage like ones there. And these are lovely because you can fussy cut out the pots and the plants and the leaves, and you can use them to make cards. However, the bit that really interests me is the back, where you've got lots of natural textures, brick, stone, timber. I love those. So what I did is I had a scrap of that brick pattern, and I cut a strip 3.5 centimetres wide, and then I just cut down 0.5 centimetre pieces. Now if you don't have that DSP, that's not a problem. You could use plain cardstock, you could use cinnamon cider, you could use early espresso, you could use Cajun craze, or in your stash you might well have some other natural patterned paper that you could cut and use instead. So the fun part of this making this little gift set is doing the stamping, because you can be as creative as you like. So I am not going to stick down my piece of brick, but I am going to just place it there. So I've kind of got in my head, where is it going to go? I'm going to start with, I think, this little pot, little curvy pot. Again, I'm tapping the ink in, and then I'm just going to stamp it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, beautiful. And then what am I going to put in them? Well, I think I'm going to start with the snake plant, which I have to say, when I was growing up, it was called a mother-in-law's tongue, but I see it is now not sold as that. Good job too, because it's a little bit old school. Okay, so now I've stamped in my plant, and then I think I'm going to get this, I don't know what this is, like a chain of tears or something like that, some sort of succulent. I'm going to use So Succulent in contrast, and I'm just going to stamp it there as though it's tumbling down the pot. 1 down. So for this next one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my piece of brick there just so I can better visualise where it's going to go. I'm going to get my cinnamon cider and my urn, and I'm just going to stamp them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to stamp this plant here in soft succulent, but if I go there it's too high. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get myself a post-it note, and I'm just going to pop the post-it note over the edge of the urn, ink up my stamp, and now I can come down, and that is much more how I want it to be. So now I'm going to bring in the evening evergreen. I'm going to bring in this little droopy plant, and boom, there's another one down. Right, next, same thing. I'm going to place my brick just to give me, you know, the visual of where I'm going to be going. I think we'll swap pots. We'll go to this big one, tap and stamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now this time I haven't used that leaf. I actually have no idea what kind of plant that is, except that it's quite pretty. So I'm going to tap, 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 tap. Right, I'm going to stamp over the edge of the pot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do that twice, but I'm going to do that one more on top. And then I'm going to switch to the evening evergreen, and I'm going to do that again. Now you'll see that in my sample I actually did that the other way around, but you see what I mean? You can play around and explore and put together all kinds of different mix and matches of what you want. Okay, so we'll do that one. Right, one more. I think this time I might go for that one. Now that one is a bit bigger, so I'm not going to worry about the brick, because in the finished product you can see in that one there's not enough room for the brick. So cinnamon cider, pot. I am going to have the same problem with it being too tall, I suspect, though. So I'm going to put my post-it note over that, and I'm going to go for soft succulent and that large leafy thing, whatever it is. And again, I'm going to come down a bit. And then I am going to go for the darker green, the evening evergreen, and come in with that little single pile of leaves. And again, I'm just going to go over the top. There's another one. And lucky last, number 5. What will we do? Well, I think we need the brick wall for this one, so we'll just pop the brick there. The pot we haven't used is this pretty little pot with the handles. So tap, tap, tap. Move that out of the way. And boom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10. Now, will the snake plant fit without having to mask it? Yes, it will. And I think I want the darker green for that, so evening evergreen. And boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Beautiful. Okay, so it's quick and easy to stamp up just like that. And it will be the same if you're doing a larger card. You know, you can stamp up quite a storm with these because, as I say, you get so much variety, and your imagination can just run wild. And of course you can use whatever colours you want. I think Cajun Craze would work really well for this set of stamps just as well. Okay, so now all I'm doing is I'm just going in and popping in my little faux terrace or patio, whatever you want to call it. I haven't, well, that one doesn't need it. I haven't really embellished these in any way. Like, I haven't added rhinestones or anything like that, because I just quite like that natural look. I really like this set. I haven't really got anything else like it. I just like that natural, in my garden look. And finally, this little one is going to have, I like to use my silicone mat when I'm doing little bits of gluing, because I don't know, the smaller the piece of paper, somehow the messier it is. Okay, so now I'm going to just get my card bases, move all that rubbish out of the way. Okay, give it a good bone fold, and then I can just, whoops, use my wiggle room to make sure that my brick is straight, and then just attach to the fronts. Now I'm just going to move my originals out of the way so I don't get them mixed up. Okay, so there's one. Two, whoops, had a bit of a false start on that one from another project. But, you know, waste not, want not. Okay. And I am just going to straighten that up a little bit. Now this one, here we go, and we're going to do another one. Now, what I have done on the inside is, if you've watched me before, you'll know I do like to decorate the inside of my cards. In this instance, I'm not going to, because I've envisaging these as note cards. You know how sometimes you've just given someone a gift and you want it to, don't want to just like write on the outside of the packet. You want a bit of a label. You want to be able to write a short, like, thanks for helping me in the garden, thanks for driving me home last night, whatever it is. You don't want to write an entire letter, you just want to write a little thank you. And because these are only 3 by 3, if you put decoration on the inside of them, you run the risk of there not being any room to write. However, having said that, if you did want to decorate the inside, there is absolutely nothing stopping you from putting in some more foliage, some more plants, or even taking some of the words out of the set and stamping them inside if you wanted to. Like, there's a really nice little love you, which would fit. You could, if you broke up the thank you, you could fit the thank you in as well, or you might have another set that's got some mini sentiments in it. Anyway, here's our 5 cards that we've just stamped up. And what I'm going to put them in is the 3 by 3 acetate card box. Now, these come in packs of 10. They're really useful because not only do they fit 3 by 3 cards and make lovely little presentation boxes, but they perfectly fit herbal tea bags and artisan squares of chocolate. So they also make beautiful little thank you gifts for people. So now the 3 by 3 envelopes you can also buy. If you check out in the catalogue the page that's got all the envelopes on it, you'll find the 3 by 3 envelopes. So 5 of those. I'll put them in there. And I'm going to put one facing that way. And I'm going to, which one do I like the best? I think I like that one the best. So I'm going to put that one on the front. And I left one facing out at the back, but you can see, you know, where the fold is. So, in my mind, this side is the front because you can't see where the little fold line is. Now you could leave it just like that, or you could wrap it with a bow if you're going to give it to someone. But I think that's a really handy little gift to give to someone, or something really handy to just have in your cupboard for those times when you just want a little thing, a little card for someone, but you don't want to write up an entire book. So if you want to know more about this project, or you'd like to contact me about anything, you can reach me on my blog, Thinking Stamping, or my Facebook page. The details of those are going to pop up on the end card and are in the video description below. If you live in New Zealand and you'd like to shop with me, there are links to my online store in both of those places as well. And if you've enjoyed what you've seen, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything new. Thank you.